Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Maurica, your Tampa Bay Realtor, and I am running into, while working with some of my buyers, one of the most important questions that they need to ask if you have found, your dream home is, does the home you're interested in require a CDD or HOA fee? Now, these fees can affect your monthly payment, and they also take into consideration of community restrictions that you need to be aware of. Now, some people are like, well, what is a CDD and what is a HOA fee? So, a CDD fee is basically stands for Community Development District. Now, this is where most planned communities, they would have a CDD. They normally have a community that has desirable amenities. This is required because your planned community, it's going to provide infrastructure such as roads and utilities and amenities to your planned unit development. And so what the CDD is, it allows the developer to finance the cost with a CDD bond through tax-free municipal bonds. So this is basically a loan that developer has taken out, and now he's transferring, the cost of the loan to the homeowners. And this loan is going to be repaid by the homeowners within the community. Now, each property is going to be charged an annual amount. Now, the CDD amount is going to be, it's going to show as an assessment in your tax bill each year, and it is collected by your county tax collector. Now, if you have a mortgage and you have your taxes added into your mortgage payment, this is going to be, the CDD fee is also going to be amortized into your payments. So usually a portion of the CDD collected is the actual bond repayment, and then the other portion is called the operations and maintenance of the community. Now, once that portion of the bond is paid off, then that leaves you with the O&M portion to pay. So it would be lowered after a certain amount of time. You just have to ask how long is this CDD, the repayment portion, how long is that going to be? Now, if you are going to have a community that has a HOA, usually the HOA is for communities. I always call them like suburban community, gated communities. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. And like I said, it's for gated communities or subdivisions. Now, HOA is basically a predetermined fee that each homeowner in the community has to pay. It's either paid monthly, quarterly, or annually. And this fee is basically used to help maintain the community. Now, they usually have a third party that comes and manages the HOA portion for your community. The HOA is going to put a lot of covenants, conditions, and restrictions. They call that CC&Rs, which help outline what you can do to your home, what you can't do to your home, what are the rules and the regulations of the community. All of that is managed by the HOA. Now, sometimes if you are not following the rules, some of the rules could be, you have to have your house get, if you're going to paint it, you have to get approval beforehand that the paint is an approved paint color, or, you have to keep your grass cut, certain parking restrictions, things of that nature. Each community has its own set of rules, so you need to make sure that you understand what they are beforehand. And you also have to fill out an application. If you are going to move into a community that has an HOA, you have to fill out an application and be approved before you can move in. So, like I said, they deal with the overall condition of the community. They make sure that everyone is following all the rules and regulations. If you aren't, you can be fined and you would have to pay the fee. Now, if you say, okay, I've been fined, I'm not paying you, then the fee, the HOA managers, they can actually put a lien on your property, which, most people do not want to go through that because, when it's time to sell, eventually you're going to have to pay it anyway. So follow the rules, and if you are fined, pay your fines. Some people say, I don't like dealing with a HOA. They get on my nerves. They have all these rules. They fine you for any little thing. Sometimes it just depends on your preference. I know some people don't like HOAs and they move into community, and then on their street they say, oh, my neighbors, their house is an eyesore because they have all of this junk. They don't cut their yard. They don't keep up their house. And it's bringing down the value of the of our homes in this community on this street. Now, if you had a HOA, they would be regulating your neighbors. So some people say, okay, I like that aspect. Some people just don't like to be told what to do, for their homes. Now, you must keep in mind that, your HOA fees are also, they're not really rolled into your mortgage, but they're paid separately to the HOA managers. But your CDD fees are rolled into your mortgage payments, and they can vary each year. They can go up or they can go down. So I hope this explains to you what a HOA and what CDD fees are, and to, let you know that these are fees that you would have to consider. HOA fees, when you are trying to get a pre-approval, that fee amount is going to be considered part of your debt to income ratio. So your lender is going to factor all of that in to make sure that you can actually afford to live in that particular house with the mortgage, and you can afford to live in that particular community. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to leave that, drop your questions below. I'll be sure to answer them. If you are in the process of buying and you are, kind of unsure, you have questions or concerns, I'm going to leave a link to my home buyer's guide, which is about 20-30 pages, which has a lot of good information in there. I also have a seller's guide that I will leave a link to before. And if you are thinking about moving into the Tampa Bay area, but you're not sure which neighborhood or area of the Tampa Bay region you would like to live in, I am also leaving a link down below to my neighborhood guide. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.